everyone, it's Ann from Annalise's Creates, Annalise's Creations. I'm here to show you what you can do with your crayons and a water-soluble marker. First, I gotta cut my crayon paper off. Like I showed you in the last video, take a craft knife or an X-Acto knife and just cut a line, cut a slit across the paper, because you want to use the side of your crayon for rubbings. All right, and like I said earlier in my last video on Sunday, my first video I should say for the week, I said to go out and create some rubbings using things that you already have on hand. If you have embossing folders, use your embossing folders. If you don't and you have like texture plates, use those. If you don't have those, check out and see what kinds of household items might create some cool rubbings. All right, so I have this texture plate that it was left over from my kids back in the day, and I'm going to use this side because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this. So I'm taking a really bright orange crayon and I'm using my using some watercolor paper this time, and it's a thicker paper, so it may not pick up the whole rubbing very well, the whole plate, texture plate, but I'm trying my best here because I want to show you what I want to do with this, because it does work better on the watercolor for what the watercolor paper for what I want to do this for, okay? And you could create what I'm talking about in a minute. I'll explain what I mean in a second, okay? So here is what I picked up with the texture plate. So it looks pretty cool, all right? It didn't pick up all the texture, but it still looks very cool. So this could make a really cool background, and you could add more marks or whatever to it. Okay, but I'm going to show you how to create a crayon resist using a marker, all right? A water-soluble marker. This is a Tombow marker. Unfortunately, I don't have any less expensive markers anymore. I used to have a bunch and I donated them. So Crayola carries markers that are water soluble. Sharpie's permanent. So if you've got Sharpies, this will not work because they will not move around with water. So you'll need to experiment with your markers, with what you have on hand. Don't go out and buy any new markers. If you've got markers at home, experiment. See if they move around with once you apply water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Tombow and I'm just going to lightly go over the top of this, and I'm just doing it, you know, very loosely, like a sketchy scribbly mess. All right. And then I'm taking a watercolor brush. This is a number 12 round, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm taking my brush and I'm activating that marker, and you can see how the marker is resisting that that crayon. I can't speak today, sorry guys. Okay, so it is resisting it, see that? And it's going to give a really cool effect once it's dry. Or if you're impatient like me, you could take a sponge or a piece of paper towel or a towel itself, which I have right here, and you can just go ahead and blot off the excess. Or you can use your heat gun, whichever way, but I'm just going to blot it so you can see the effect it left behind. Isn't that cool? So my challenge for you to do today is to create some backgrounds for your My Year journal, and go experiment with your markers and figure out which ones are, you know, water soluble. So for instance, I'm going to take this one and I'm just going to go across like this, and I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to go across and I'm going to activate that marker so it turns it into like a watercolor. Isn't that cool? So if you have markers at home and you're not sure if they're water soluble, experiment. That's what art's all about. Go play and experiment. That's the fun part of it all. So I hope that you enjoyed this little quick video of me showing you how to do a crayon resist using markers. So go out and have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video for this My Year. Thanks for watching. Toodles. Have a wonderful day. Oh, and don't forget to go check out that Facebook group. I'll post links down at the bottom. Bye. Toodles.